1 minute.
Hello.
Hello everyone. Today we are going to start the new chapter and which is the force and pressure. Somewhere it is force and friction, but friction we have extra chapter in 12th. Okay, 12th chapter. We will understand that later on. So like we are going to understand the force and pressure in this chapter. Force and the pressure. Okay. So first we have to go through that few things here, which is right in front of your screen. So think and physical activities. Think of any physical activities. What do you when you perform a physical activity? Okay, see here when you are lifting the bag. Okay, first here we have the diagram. It says that boy lifting the bag. Does the boy do lift the school bag?
No, sir.
See, it will require the force. What does the boy do to lift the school bag? So the boy will require the force.
He will move.
Force.
Yes, force. Next, second activity here we have. What does the girl do to open the door? It will pull or push.
So
That
voice
is
is
again applying the force only. Okay, next. See the potter making pots by using the clay. Okay, what does the potter do to change the shape of the clay? Again the force.
Force.
Yes. Fourth activity says, what does the driver do to stop the bus? It applies brake, yes, but due to this brake, it applies the force only. Okay, yes. So next, last but not the least, what stopped the car from slipping on the sloping the road? It is nothing but the friction. Is it? Again, that friction is nothing but the force only. So here we have all the examples, like 5 examples. Whatever the activities is being performed require force only. Requires.
Your voice is breaking, sir.
For everyone.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Clear.
So as we have already gone through that, whatever the activity we are performing in our daily life, all they require the force only. So in this chapter, we will learn about the force. In this chapter, we will learn about the force and their effects and types of the force and their nature. Okay. We will also learn about the friction and how it affects us in our day-to-day life or activities. We will understand that also. Okay. So now here we are going to start our first part, and which is nothing but the force and its effect. So first we have to understand what is force is. So force is nothing but a pull or push of an object is called as the force. The push or the pull acting on an object is called as the force. The SI unit of force is Newton. The SI is nothing but a system international. It is a unit in which we have unit of the force is the Newton. We use force to perform various activities in our daily life. Walking, cycling, driving the car, like kicking the ball, whatever the activities we are performing, each activity requires the force. Force has the following effects on the object. So now we are going to understand the effect of object. So number 1, force can make the stationary object move or make moving object faster. So I am writing effect one by one over here. Okay. So first effect I am writing here. Okay. So by applying force, we can change the motion of an object. So I am writing first, by applying force, we can change the motion. Okay. Second, we can like stop the motion. We can, by applying force, we can stop the motion. Stop the motion. Third one, we can change the direction of motion. change the direction of motion. Number 4, we can change the shape and size of the object by applying force. Can change the shape.
Sir, force stops the.
Force can stop the motion. Stop the motion. It is motion. Yeah, motion. Okay. Can change the direction. So here we can write can change the direction and can change the shape and size.
And can
Size.
move it faster also, right?
Yes.
Sir, how can you change the shape or the size of the object?
Okay, suppose here we have the clay. Okay, so that potter can change its size into the pot like this. Okay, by applying force.
Yes, sir, but not all objects, right?
Yes, sir, only some objects.
Yes, but by all object also we can apply. We have to melt them. Like suppose we have like iron rod. So by applying force, we can like the rod can be converted into the ring by applying force.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay, like we have very like big matter here. So by applying force, we can change like break down. So it will change the shape also. Is it? Size also. We can break the particles to small pieces. Again, it is the change of size and shape. Okay, everyone. Okay. Yeah, we can change the speed. So fifth, last but not the least, I am writing effect here. Can change the speed. Can change the speed. Okay, of moving object. So here we have the 5 important effects of the force. Any doubt
Sir?
here in all these 5? Wait a
Sir, I
second.
have a doubt, sir.
Wait a second. Any doubt? Okay. Yeah. What is
Sir?
your doubt, beta? Okay.
Sir,
So
could
now
you
we are going to discuss through the notes. Wait a second. Okay. So a toy car can be made to move by giving a little push. Yes. Okay. Like suppose we had toy car, it is stationary. So by applying force, we can start its motion. Similarly, stationary
voice is
football
breaking.
for
It
everyone.
stopped. Yes, sir, it stopped for a while.
No, sir, no, yes.
Your voice is getting stopped in middle, sir.
Yes, sir.
While you're speaking.
Okay. So similarly, a stationary football can be made to move by giving it a small push, as you can see in a diagram. Okay, here we have that boy which is playing with the football. Okay, and is going to apply force on that football. So the direction of football may change. Okay, so if direction also and motion will also start. If we have any like already moving toy car or a ball, okay, suppose the cricketer, what cricketer that used to do when they used to catch the ball, okay, they are reducing the speed of the ball first. Okay, so it makes it move faster by giving a push in the direction in which it is moving. If suppose the bowler like bowling towards the batsman and batsman like applying pressure through the bats and changing its direction as well as the speed, or we can say the motion also. So all these are nothing but the example. Okay, by applying force, we can change whatever the effect we have already gone through. Okay, thus a force can make a stationary object move, and it can also make already moving object move faster. Means we can change the speed.
Sir.
Yes, force can slow down or completely stop by applying the force also. A moving toy car can be made to stop by applying the force from opposite direction. Okay, so by applying force, a bicycle can also stop and slow down by applying the brakes, and that brakes by through which we can applying the force on it. A football, the force applied by the goalkeeper stop the ball and hit towards the goal. So here, whatever the examples that we are going through is nothing but the effects of force only. In order to stop or slow down the moving object or moving body, we need to apply the force from opposite direction. Okay, whatever the direction of motion of the object, if you are applying opposite force, then the motion will reduce and finally the object will stop moving. So we can see here, by applying force we can stop the motion, we can slow down the speed, or we can increase the speed of the object. Okay, now next, force can change the direction of moving object. Okay, so here this is the second one. We have already gone through here. The first one, force can make stationary object move. Second, force can slow down or completely stop the moving object. And third, now we are going to discuss, and which is the force can change the direction of the moving object. Okay, so here we have already gone through that discussion here. Suppose the bowling is, the bowler is going to ball toward the batsman. Okay, and ball is moving in this direction, and here we have the batsman. Okay, and suppose that ball is going to hit by the batsman. Okay, so it will change the direction of the motion of that object by applying force. Okay,
Sir, it actually braked only once, sir, so there's no problem. You can
So
continue.
it's
Yeah.
breaking
Sir,
for
it's breaking once or twice, that's it.
in cricket, when the batsman hits the ball and the ball to him, okay, so what happens generally? The batsman, when hits the ball, okay, in particular direction, that means that ball changes its direction. Likewise, simultaneously, speed of the ball will also change. The direction in which the ball is moving changes. Okay, as you can see, this is the direction of moving ball from bowler to the batsman, and this is the direction provided by the batsman. Okay, so IPL is going on in India right now, so you can sense that particular example every day. Okay, in football, the player can change the direction of the moving ball by kicking it in a different direction. All these are nothing but the example of the force can change the direction of the moving objects. We can, whatever the example we have gone through, that we can conclude that force can change the state of motion of an object. Thus, it can be change the speed and direction of the moving object. It can also change the shape of an object, even the break it. By applying force, we can break the object into small pieces. So we should note that the converse is that converse is also true. Okay, suppose if we are applying force, if we can make the stationary object move, so just we have to think reverse, that the moving object can be stopped by applying the opposing force. Without a force, an object will remain in a stationary condition only. Okay, suppose any object which is laying on the hill, okay, suppose here we have the stone which is laying on the hill, will remain here only until any external force act on it. That means will remains at rest only. We will understand that in inertia part. Okay, the inertia part says object remains or tends to remain in stationary or in moving condition all the time if any external force will not work. Okay, next, fourth effect, the force can change the shape and size of the object. Again, it is going to be very important. While making chapatis, okay, at our home, while making chapatis, our mom used to
Sir, your voice is
This is
breaking.
breaking.
Sir, your voice.
okay.
Once
So see, force can change the shape or size of an object. While making the chapatis, we can change the shape of the dough by applying the force. So generally we are using the small dough here, and suppose that dough is being converted into the chapatis by applying the force with the hand. The length of the rubber band can be increased. Suppose here we have the rubber band. So by applying force in this direction, we can change the shape also like this. Okay, it is due to its elasticity when we will pull from the both side. You can also break things by applying force. Okay, suppose here we have any object, you can apply the force here and that object will break down into small pieces like this. So we can break the object by applying force. Material that break easily when we like apply the force on them. Okay, and which is termed as the brittle, and brittle is nothing but the property of crystalline matter. Crystalline matter, whatever we have, if we will apply the force when break down into the small pieces, and this property of matters is called as brittleness. For example, objects made up of the glass. Okay, if you will like apply small force, or you can like hit that by the hammer, will break down into small pieces. This is nothing but the brittleness property of the glass. Okay, like pen, we have like in diagram we had to go through that here. We'll
Sir, I
explain
didn't got that brittle point.
brittleness is the property of the matter in which they can be break down into small pieces by applying the force. Suppose you have the glass piece, and if you will apply the like you will hit that glass by hammer, so glass will break down into many small pieces, right?
Yes, sir.
This property is called as brittleness. Okay.
So even instead of that, sir, if we by mistake, if we throw a plate down, sir, onto the ground.
Yes. It will again break down.
Then what's the of the brittle?
Brittleness is the property of matter in which by applying force they can break down into small pieces. This property of matter is called as brittleness.
No, sir, the spelling.
B